Germany didn't just build trucks, they built legends. Machines so advanced, so powerful, and so far ahead of their time that the entire trucking industry had no choice but to change forever. From record-breaking engines to designs copied across the world, these 10 German trucks didn't just transport cargo, they rewrote the rulebook. Get ready, because once you see what these trucks did, you'll never look at modern trucking the same way again. Number 1. Mercedes-Benz LP Series, 1963. When the Mercedes-Benz LP Series arrived in 1963, the European trucking industry wasn't prepared for how radically this machine would reshape its future. Before the LP, most trucks in Europe followed an American-style formula. Long hoods, limited visibility, cramped cabins, and maintenance that required a full day's work just to access basic engine components. The LP series didn't simply challenge this formula, it destroyed it. Mercedes introduced one of the earliest mass-produced cab-over-engine COE designs with a fully tilting cab, dramatically improving accessibility and reducing maintenance time. But the design wasn't just functional, it changed the driving experience forever. The LP featured a nearly flat front, a massive panoramic windshield, and a seating position that placed the driver right above the engine, giving unmatched road visibility. Drivers who spent long nights on steep European passes suddenly felt more connected to the road, more confident, and more in control than ever before. This truck also represented a new era of engineering pride for Mercedes-Benz. They equipped the LP with more efficient diesel engines, enhanced braking systems, and improved axle load distribution. The LP wasn't only a truck, it became a symbol of modernization in the post-war European economy. It transformed the expectations of what a truck should be. Safer, easier to drive, easier to repair, and designed with the driver in mind. Its influence spread across the world. Scania, Volvo, MAN, and even Japanese makers like Hino adopted similar COE designs in the years that followed. The LP didn't just change Mercedes' future, it changed the entire trucking world forever. Number 2. MAN F8, 1967. The MAN F8 wasn't just another truck in a growing European market. It was the machine that defined what a heavy-duty truck should be. Introduced in 1967, it arrived at a time when Europe was undergoing massive industrial and infrastructural transformation. Highways were expanding, construction projects were booming, and the demand for trucks capable of pulling heavier loads over longer stretches grew by the day. The F8 became the answer to all of these demands and more. What made the F8 revolutionary was its incredible balance between brute strength and mechanical finesse. MAN engineered the truck using a lightweight yet rigid frame, ensuring higher payload capacity without sacrificing structural durability. Under the hood, powerful V engines developed in collaboration with Deutz and MAN gave the F8 exceptional torque, making it a favorite among transport companies moving steel coils, machinery, and construction materials. However, one of the most groundbreaking features of the F8 was its air-sprung rear axle. At a time when trucks were associated with bone-crushing rides, the F8 brought a level of comfort that was nearly unbelievable. Long-haul drivers, who often spent 12–16 hours on the road, suddenly experienced smoother rides, less fatigue, and more control over difficult terrains. This improved comfort made the F8 a beloved machine among the men who depended on their truck not only for work but for livelihood. The F8 quickly became a legend across Europe, Australia, and the Middle East. Known for its reliability and ruggedness, the F8 helped shape the modern image of MAN as a global trucking powerhouse. Even today, surviving F8s are cherished by collectors as pioneers of the heavy-duty era. Number 3. Majlis Deutz 232D 3600, 1971. The Majlis Deutz 232D 3600 stands in a class of its own, not just because of its rugged looks, but because of its unique engineering philosophy. Introduced in the early 1970s, this truck dared to challenge every conventional belief about diesel truck engines. While the rest of the world relied on water-cooled engines with radiators, hoses, pumps, and a long list of components that often failed in harsh environments, Majlis Deutz chose a completely different path: air-cooled diesel engines. This decision made the 232D one of the most reliable heavy-duty trucks ever created. With no radiator to leak, no coolant to overheat, and no water pump to fail, The 232D became the king of extreme climates. It operated effortlessly in scorching deserts, freezing mountain passes, and remote regions where mechanics and spare parts were nearly impossible to find. Its engine became famous for the distinctive rumble that echoed like a beast awakening. Drivers claim you could recognize a 232D's sound from kilometers away. But the truck's greatness wasn't just about durability. It had a sturdy ladder-type chassis capable of handling off-road abuse and high payloads. Expedition teams used it to cross Africa. Construction companies relied on it to haul concrete and gravel on terrain where most trucks would break down. Even military forces admired its simplicity and toughness. The design legacy of the 232D extended far beyond Germany. It proved that alternative engineering approaches could dominate in specific environments and that simplicity, when done right, can outperform complexity. Today, preserved 232D trucks are prized by heavy truck enthusiasts and adventurers for their unmatched reliability, timeless design, and engine that simply refuses to quit. Number 4. Mercedes-Benz NG. Mercedes-Benz once again changed the direction of trucking history when it launched the Neue Generation NG series. At the time, truck manufacturers were still producing separate truck models for construction, long-haul, military, and regional duties. Mercedes broke this pattern entirely by introducing a modular truck platform, a concept that has since become the global standard in the trucking world. With the NG series, Mercedes didn't just release a truck. They released a system, a customizable foundation that could be adapted with different engines, transmissions, axles, and cabin designs depending on customer needs. This flexibility made the NG instantly appealing to small and large fleets across Europe. It reduced costs, simplified maintenance, and increased efficiency, a business revolution just as important as its engineering achievements. The NG series also focused heavily on the driver. Mercedes understood that truckers spent most of their lives inside cabs, so for the first time they invested in comfort as a key engineering goal. The NG offered improved insulation, ergonomic controls, better ventilation, larger windows, and optional sleeper cabins that transformed overnight driving conditions. It wasn't luxurious, but compared to older trucks, it felt like stepping into the future. Mechanically, the NG introduced more powerful engines, better aerodynamics, and enhanced braking systems, including the early adoption of anti-lock braking technology. It played a major role in establishing Mercedes-Benz as a leader in both innovation and practicality. Over its long production life, the NG evolved into the SK series and eventually paved the way for the world-famous Actros lineup. Without the NG, the modern Mercedes truck identity simply wouldn't exist. Number 5. MAN F90, 1986. The MAN F90 was a true game-changer when it debuted in 1986. To this day, trucking veterans speak about the F90 with respect, often calling it one of the best long-haul trucks ever engineered in Europe. And for good reason. The F90 didn't just improve trucking standards, it set them. The most striking innovation of the F90 was its aerodynamic design. MAN engineers invested heavily in wind tunnel testing, creating a sleeker front fascia and smoother cabin edges that significantly reduced drag. This wasn't just for looks. Fuel prices were rising, and transport companies needed efficiency. The F90 delivered exactly that, offering unprecedented fuel savings in its class. Inside the cabin, MAN redefined driver comfort. The F90 featured ergonomic seating, improved sound insulation, and a dashboard layout that made driving feel less like operating heavy machinery and more like commanding a sophisticated vehicle. For long-haul drivers spending countless nights on the road, this was a revolution. But the F90's influence extended far beyond comfort. It introduced advanced turbocharged engines that delivered outstanding torque while maintaining lower fuel consumption. It also provided one of the earliest electronic monitoring systems, allowing drivers and fleet managers to analyze fuel use, engine performance, and maintenance needs with far more accuracy than ever before. The F90 became a bestseller across Europe and won the prestigious 1987 Truck of the Year award. It earned a legendary reputation for reliability. Many units continued operating well into the 2000s. The F90 didn't just improve MAN's image, it cemented the company as one of the most advanced truck manufacturers in the world. Number 6. Mercedes-Benz Actros, 1996. When the first-generation Mercedes-Benz Actros arrived in 1996, it wasn't just a new truck, it was a technological leap that carried the entire trucking world into a new era. By the mid-1990s, trucks had already become more powerful, more aerodynamic, and more comfortable than their predecessors. But the Actros did something no one had done at scale. It integrated electronics into almost every major system, turning a mechanical giant into a digital powerhouse. The Actros introduced CAN bus-controlled electronics, a system that allowed all major components, engine, brakes, transmission, safety systems, to communicate with each other in real time. This meant dramatically better fuel efficiency, improved diagnostics, and far greater reliability. Problems could be detected before breakdowns occurred, minimizing downtime and maximizing fleet productivity. It was a revolution for logistics companies, and soon every manufacturer began adopting similar technology. But the Actros wasn't only about electronics. Mercedes redesigned the cabin, prioritizing comfort and ergonomics at a level unseen before. They introduced better noise insulation, high-comfort air suspension seats, a more driver-friendly dashboard, and sleeper cabins that felt like compact hotel rooms. For drivers spending days crossing Europe, the Actros became a dream machine. The truck also led the industry in safety innovations, pioneering electronic braking systems, EBS, early versions of adaptive braking, and traction control. In a world where trucking accidents were common, the Actros began rewriting the rules of what safety meant on highways. The Actros became an icon, setting standards that reshaped the global perception of what a modern truck should be. Its digital DNA can be found in nearly every European truck built since the late 1990s. Number 7. MAN TGA, 2000. At the dawn of the new millennium, MAN Trucks decided it was time to create something bold, something modern, and something that would define the next generation of commercial transport. The result was the MAN TGA, a truck that immediately transformed long-haul trucking with its revolutionary platform, unmatched cabin comfort, and advanced engineering. The TGA introduced MAN's Concept 2000 modular platform, allowing dozens of configurations using the same base design. This gave fleet owners enormous flexibility, while also reducing maintenance complexity and operating costs. It was a major strategic win, especially for large European fleets managing hundreds of trucks. But what truly made the TGA unforgettable was its cabin technology. MAN introduced the gigantic XXL cab, one of the largest ever seen in Europe. With enormous interior space, higher ceilings, superior insulation, and luxurious sleeping areas, it gave drivers a living environment that was years ahead of its competition. For the first time, drivers experienced a premium-like environment, something closer to long-haul RV comfort than traditional trucking. Engine-wise, the TGA came equipped with MAN's newly developed D20 and D26 engines, delivering improved power, efficiency, and long-term durability. This was paired with advanced gearboxes and better brake systems, resulting in a driving experience that felt smoother and safer. The MAN TGA quickly became a favorite across Europe, Eastern Europe, and Russia. Its combination of technology, comfort, and engineering reliability earned it the 2001 Truck of the Year award. It was more than just a truck. It was a statement that MAN had fully entered the modern era. Number 8. Mercedes-Benz Axor, 2001. Not every cargo job requires a top-tier flagship truck, and not every transport company wants the costs associated with one. Mercedes-Benz understood this gap better than anyone, and in 2001, they launched the Mercedes-Benz Axor, a mid-range workhorse carefully engineered to bridge the space between the medium-duty Atego and the heavy-duty Actros. The Axor provided something unique: balanced performance with economical operation. It used lighter, more efficient engines and a simplified design that allowed Mercedes to keep the truck competitively priced without sacrificing quality or reliability. This made it especially appealing to companies focused on regional transport, distribution work, and mid-distance logistics. What truly set the Axor apart was its operational efficiency. Its engines were tuned for low fuel consumption, while the truck's lightweight chassis increased payload capacity. It delivered exceptional value, allowing fleet operators to reduce costs while maintaining high productivity. Inside the cabin, Mercedes again demonstrated that comfort didn't need to be exclusive to top-tier models. The Actros featured ergonomic seating, a clean dashboard layout, and sleeper options for longer routes. Drivers appreciated its simplicity and ease of operation, while company owners appreciated its low running costs. The Actros became one of Mercedes' most successful fleet trucks globally, especially in regions like South America, the Middle East, and Asia. Its influence reshaped the industry's understanding of mid-range trucks, proving that you could offer quality, efficiency, and durability without premium pricing. It wasn't the flashiest Mercedes truck, but it was one of the most important. Number 9. MAN TGX Euro 5, 2007. With rising fuel prices and increasingly strict European emissions regulations, truck manufacturers in the mid-2000s faced enormous challenges. In response, MAN introduced the TGX Euro 5, a truck that redefined the balance between power, economy, and environmental responsibility. The TGX Euro 5 wasn't just an upgrade, it was a complete rethinking of how trucks should operate in the modern world. Equipped with the highly efficient D20 and D26 engines, the TGX delivered better combustion, improved turbocharging, and reduced internal friction. The result? Outstanding fuel economy, lower emissions, and better performance, all at the same time. But engine innovation was only one part of the TGX story. MAN introduced new aerodynamic designs to reduce drag, saving companies millions in fuel over the years. Inside the cabin, the TGX offered improved comfort, better insulation, and more advanced electronics and diagnostics. Drivers found the truck easier to operate, quieter, and more relaxing on long European routes. Safety also took a leap forward. The TGX Euro 5 included advanced braking systems, traction control, stability assistance, and early adaptive cruise technology. These features made it one of the safest trucks of its decade and set standards followed by competitors. The TGX quickly became a favorite among large logistics companies. Its blend of power, efficiency, and reliability created a benchmark for long-haul trucks globally. Even after newer models arrived, the Euro 5 TGX continued to dominate fleets due to its unbeatable running costs and legendary dependability. Number 10. Mercedes-Benz Actros MP4, 2011. Few trucks in history have captured attention quite like the Actros MP4. Released in 2011, it represented everything the future of trucking was supposed to be: advanced, aerodynamic, efficient, driver-friendly, and packed with cutting-edge technology. Mercedes-Benz didn't just upgrade the Actros, they reinvented it from the ground up. The MP4 debuted with one of the most aerodynamically refined truck cabins ever designed. Every corner, edge, and surface was sculpted through wind tunnel testing to reduce drag and improve fuel efficiency. Combined with the OM471 engine, an engineering milestone, the MP4 became one of the most fuel-efficient long-haul trucks on the planet. Inside, the MP4 offered unprecedented comfort. It featured improved sleeping areas, superior insulation, redesigned dashboards, and luxury-level seating. Drivers immediately called it one of the best cabins ever built. But the MP4's biggest legacy lies in its technological innovations. Mercedes used the MP4 as the foundation for its semi-autonomous driving systems. Features like lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, emergency braking, and advanced vehicle monitoring made the MP4 one of the safest commercial vehicles ever produced. Its groundbreaking mirror cam concept, side cameras replacing mirrors, began development on the MP4 platform. Today's modern mirrorless Actros models trace their origins directly back to this truck's innovations. The Actros MP4 didn't just modernize trucking, it brought the future 10 years early. Many experts consider it one of the most important trucks ever produced, not just in Germany, but worldwide. These weren't just trucks, they were milestones. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every bold decision shaped the modern machines we rely on today. If you enjoyed this journey through German engineering greatness, hit like, subscribe, and tell me which truck shocked you the most. And stay tuned, because the next video dives even deeper into the machines that changed our world in ways we never expected. Thanks for watching, and keep the engines roaring.